Now, hi, and welcome to the Ada K Show. I am Ada K. Brown, and am currently a criminal justice major, and I'm a deaf courtroom commentator. Grab a cup of Java, and let's dive in.
Hello, everybody. Let's bring somebody in the party. Let's come back to bring a friend of the party. Come on, girlfriend. We got some funk going on. It's Sunday night. Yeah. That's our wine. We got wine. How are you, lovely? I drink a lot of water, but it could be one. It could be water. It could be anything, but it says this could be wine. Keep you guessing.
Keep them guessing.
Hello.
How are you?
Everybody, if you don't know, I'm Ada K, and my special guest of the night is Miss Tanika.
Yes, I'm Tanika's 2 cents. Thank you for having me. I'm excited to be here. Excited to talk about Donna Adelson.
No sound.
From me?
On your end.
Oh, no.
Okay, try it again. There we go.
Hello? Okay.
Yeah.
Perfect. We were just talking. I don't know what I touched.
Technology.
Yes. I'm excited to talk about the Adelsons, Donna Adelson, all of them. So, yes. Thanks for having me.
Oh, my gosh. I have been on an Adelson binge. I kid you not. I have been binging to catch up, trying to catch up. And then I got off in the Lori Vallow binge.
Yes. I still haven't seen. I'm going to watch it tonight. Whatever was on Dateline. I'm going to watch it tonight. But oh my God. So much for her not wanting to be in front of cameras and that little motion she filed.
That crazy. Look, y'all, I'm a pastor. And that woman says everybody else is full of demons. Let's just say if any demons are living anywhere, it's between her ears and her mouth and her head. That woman is just full of it. I had an interesting, I made something. I made a bull BS meter.
Oh my God. It's got poo in the middle.
That is where she lives. Right there.
I need that in my life.
I'll send it to you.
Okay.
So anyway, I'm going to be asked. Well, I don't have the questions in front of me.
No, that's okay. So the first thing, let me tell you like the overall thing, because I've been following this since before I had a channel, right? So there was Wendi Adelson and Dan Markel were married. They got a divorce. It was acrimonious to say the least. He very devoted father. He was very devout in his Jewish religion. From the start, there were fireworks at the wedding. He kept kosher. Donna, the mother-in-law, was responsible for the catering, and she ordered kosher style food, but not kosher food. So the rabbi and his relatives could not eat. He was very embarrassed. So it was off to a horrible start. They got a divorce. She ambushed him. He called it Pearl Harbor. She left a note and moved out and took his children down to Miami, would not give him an address. He was out of town when it happened. He came home and found the divorce papers on the marital bed. Furniture is gone. Jewelry is gone. Money is moved out of their joint bank account into her bank account. He was ambushed, right? So they got through all of that. She had to come back because the court said, listen, you guys have kids. You got to be here. You can go to Miami without your kids, but the kids stay here where daddy is. And so the mother, Donna Adelson, who's about to go to trial, goes ballistic. And she's nutty to be generous. She writes emails to her daughter like, let's dress the children up as Nazis and take pictures. That'll show him. Or let's send them to Catholic school. We have to have something to bargain with, right? She was just nutso. So they ended up unaliving him in 2014. It was July 18th. He was shot and he died on the 19th. Her brother was involved, Charlie Adelson. He was convicted in 23. He got life plus 60 years. The brother's girlfriend, part-time girlfriend, was involved. She elicited her baby daddy to be the hitman. He then hired one of his thug friends, who's a Latin king, or as the old attorney used to call him, Aladdin King. So,
whoa. Let's take a breath.
There's a lot of players.
I'm already tired. Do we need a Brandy Churchwell map?
Oh my God.
First of all, everybody coming in on Tanika's live and my live, thank you so much for joining us. Thank you for your comments and your love. I want to explain something real quick to you because you guys, even Tanika's people, can be entered into a drawing that is for a $50 gift card at the end of the month. So, like on both streams. Then comment, I liked. And when you do, one person tonight will be drawn to be in the $50 giveaway at the end of the month. So good luck, everybody. So I got to take a breath on this. So he married a Jewish man being a Mormon?
No, they're both Jewish.
No,
but he's like
Mormon. She was just nothing or Christian. Marries a Jewish man. Disrespects all of,
they're all Jewish. He's a devout. He's practicing, and they are more like just by birth. Although grandma wanted Jewish grandchildren.
Orthodox.
I don't know if I don't think he was Orthodox. I just think he was like, he kept kosher. Yeah, he isn't Orthodox with the little curly Q. He didn't have those. But he did wear yarmulke.
Okay. He wasn't Orthodox. He was a practicing, but he wasn't okay. So she took all the kids and everything. So she pulled a this woman. All right, you may continue. I'm getting my head wrapped around it now. There's so much.
And that was in 2013. Like, it should have all been settled. But Donna Adelson was very much, they called him Jibbers. Jibbers has not beat the Adelsons yet. And so they came up with this whole plot to have him murdered. And then for 2 years, there were no arrests. And then finally, they arrested the, Luis Rivera. And he folded like a cheap, like a cheap suit. He was like, let me tell you what happened. So he took a deal for 18 years. So he rolled over on Sigfredo, who was Katie McBanawa's baby daddy. Katie was sleeping with the brother Charlie. My theory is that Charlie picked out Katie specifically because she had gangster ties, right? The first date they went on, he said, do you know someone who can harm someone? It's not very romantic. She says yes. And
I'd be going, bye.
Right. But he's a wealthy periodontist. He's cute. She's his type. So off to the races they go. They give them $5,000 for expenses. They go up there in June. They failed attempt. Luis Rivera is the gangster with a heart of gold. He says that Dan's kids were with him, the two boys, so he was not going to shoot him. So they come back to Miami, then go out again in July, and that's when they are successful. In broad daylight, they shoot him in his garage as he's coming back from the gym. Well, all of those cameras, because they followed him that morning to the gym and from the gym, there's footage, right? Everywhere in the 21st century, there's cameras. So they figure out, oh, this car. Then they start pulling bus cameras and they get them in the side view. Like, it took a while, but then they tied it together. Then they find out who the two men are. It's Luis Rivera and Sigfredo Garcia. Well, lo and behold, Sigfredo has children with Katie McBanawa. Katie McBanawa was dating Charlie. So that was the connection. So they arrested Sigfredo first in 2016, so 2 years after the murder. And then in October of 2016, they arrest Katie. They offer Katie full immunity if she turns on the Adelsons, and she says no. So they go to trial, the two of them. Yes. So
Now,
the boy,
related, right?
Say that again?
She's gang related?
No, her boyfriend's friend is gang related. He's a Latin king.
That's connected. And so her boyfriend's friend's friend. So when I've been doing a deep study on gang structures for my criminal justice degree. And if you were a girlfriend of a friend or your girlfriend of a member, if you have any personal connection, you are expected to uphold certain things, even though you're not in the gang. So that was that a possible play as to why she did not turn?
Well, later she says, because she eventually testifies for the state when Charlie goes to trial, she says she was worried because Sigfredo was facing the death penalty. But then, so they go to trial. Sigfredo is convicted. They take the death penalty off of the table. Katie is not. The jury is hung. There is one juror who says they did not want to send both the children's parents to jail for life. They offer Katie immunity again. Sigfredo's already convicted. He still has an appeal, obviously. She refuses it. Now, there are wiretaps where Katie is talking to Sigfredo's attorney before she gets arrested. And Sigfredo's attorney is telling her, well, the Adelsons aren't talking. So there's some sort of hint of maybe they bought her off. Maybe they paid for her attorneys. It's never quite clear, but it feels suspicious that she didn't turn on Charlie. So she goes at it again and she gets convicted, life plus 60. Then she decides to talk, but they don't promise her anything. So she comes for Charlie's trial and she testifies. Donna Adelson dropped off wet money. Donna Adelson wrote checks to her from the dental office. She admits that she never worked there, that the checks were for the hit. There's a lot of stuff she doesn't remember. I don't know if it's partly because she can't in her mind reconcile that she's part of a murder conspiracy, or if it's just that time has passed and she genuinely doesn't remember. But so she's expected now to go to Donna's trial, which starts June 3rd.
We had a little glitch. Hold on. We had a glitch and I don't know what's happening, but.
Oh, now you're freezing. Am I freezing too? Can you guys hear me? Ada is frozen for me. Okay, hopefully she'll be back in a second. But so yeah, Katie not taking that deal doesn't make any sense. And then her coming, so she had an opportunity. What was Sigfredo's first trial date? 2018, I think. She had an opportunity before they tried her in 2022 because they intentionally arrested Charlie before her trial started as an incentive to get her going, right? Because, ma'am, we know we've seen the text. They had the, what was it? The audio. I can't remember the name of the place, but they had that audio. It wasn't cleaned up for her first trial, but I believe her second trial, it was better. And then by the time they got to Charlie's trial, it was clearer. I mean, it was the clearest it had been of the other trials. And so I don't know why she didn't take it. Now her children are being raised by her brother. Welcome in, everyone. I'm going to wait for Ada K to come back. Hopefully you guys can still hear me. Okay. Thanks, Melissa. Okay. I just wanted to make sure. I'm sure Miss Ada K will be back in a moment. So Katie is kicking herself for not taking that deal, but by testifying against Charlie and testifying now against Donna, she's hoping that the state will give her something. They have not promised her anything. Now, Luis, who made his deal up front before, okay.
Gotcha. I don't know what's happened. I just received an alert like a nanosecond before it dropped that there is an internet wire down, a cable, something going on. That just happened. I apologize. So forgive me if that happens again. Just keep going. Thank you so much. I can't believe that just happened. But anyway,
I know how it is. I get it. So what we're preparing for now is Mama Donna's trial. That is what's coming up. So you have all of those co-conspirators, Luis, Sigfredo, Katie, Charlie are doing time. Donna is next. The question is if Wendi and Daddy Harvey will be. I say yes on Wendi. I think the state has evidence on her that they haven't revealed. Now, I've been told the top legal scholars have said if they had something, they would have brought it. I just disagree. I feel like because they need her to testify and she has derivative immunity, after they get Donna, they can probably go for it. I don't think they need her testimony to get Harvey at that point, because then they can use like the Donna evidence and the Charlie evidence against Harvey. They may say Harvey is a bust. I mean, I don't know if you saw him at the last hearing. He's looking old and feeble. So
what did Harvey actually know other than I need to get my wife out of the country? I think that was stupid as you can get.
Right.
And that recording that they're letting in, that recording they said was not a breach of the privacy laws. Honey boo, you why are you going to trial? You should plead guilty and be done with it. That recording in and of itself is enough for a conviction.
Oh yeah. And I don't know if you've heard the other recordings of her and Charlie where there's a bump, and the guy basically says, I need $5,000. I know you helped my friend up north, but you haven't helped me. They're pretending to be friend of the Latin king. And so does she go to the police and say, hey, these people are extorting me? No, she calls Charlie and says, hey, there's something I need to talk to you about. Oh, some paperwork. And he keeps prodding, like she's trying to talk in code. And then finally, because he's like, well, what is it? And finally she says, well, this TV is about $5,000. And he says, they want $5,000. So he knows exactly what she's talking about. So it just proves.
Or new TV.
Right. Which that was code, because he told Wendi, I couldn't afford, I looked into getting a hitman for you for your divorce present. I couldn't afford that. So I got you this TV instead. And the morning of the murder, she's at home with the TV repairman trying to like fix a cracked screen. But her boyfriend at the time, Jeff Lacoste, said at best it was a dorm room style TV. It wasn't like a fancy, expensive TV. He was saying, why not just get another TV? And she made him and the kids watch that broken TV, like as if that's part of her alibi of like, oh yeah, the TV was broken. But it was like so ridiculous, it stood out as weird. Worst code talkers ever. I feel like Donna was better than Charlie. He would not take a hint. He's the reason he's in jail. That mouth, he was running that mouth. But I was glad that Judge Everett ruled that call was coming in and that she couldn't have bond, because I think she totally would have unalived herself with Harvey had she been given bond, right? And that call, you're asking for her non-extradition place, but now you're claiming it's vacation. Yeah, I always vacation in third world countries that don't extradite when I just need to get away while I'm suspected of murder.
I will say I found out like $100 in the United States is worth like 2,000 to 3,000, or big buku difference in Vietnam or over there. So yeah, if you want to go on a vacation and get the biggest bang for your buck, go there. And it's a one-way ticket. And that was a bunch of bull when she said, well, if they did put a warrant out for my arrest, I was going to return. Excuse me. But I wanted to return and not be held prisoner in another country and go through. Oh, that is the biggest bunch of baloney I have ever heard.
Right. And she implicates her then attorney, Daniel Rashbaum, saying, yes, go for it.
If I was the attorney, I'd be putting in something in front of the court saying, Your Honor, at no time did I ever tell my client to run, Forrest, run.
Judge Everett is not happy with Rashbaum anyway. He had to recuse himself for a conflict. He should have never been on Donna's case. Like, it was a hot mess from the beginning.
Sorry, I dropped something. So
that's okay.
So did she testify at her son's trial?
No, she didn't even show up to her son's trial. Mom or dad were MIA. He had no one there. His sister came to testify for the state.
Country, correct?
I'm sorry?
That was before they were fleeing the country, correct?
Yes. They didn't flee until after he was convicted. So the day after he was convicted is when she started getting things in order, getting the trust funds for the kids in order, moving money around, wanting to give Wendi keys for where all the paperwork would be located. And he kept saying that he should have followed his instinct, which seems like he was referring to he should have run. He shouldn't have stayed for trial. And so her picking up on that was like, I'm going to get the hell out of Dodge.
Yeah, I would say so. That is crazy. So what defense does she really have?
So it's not clear because originally it seemed like when she had rash bombs, she was still going to go with the extortion thing. But since then, they found WhatsApp text messages where Charlie is guessing or theorizing that, oh, maybe Dan was using drugs and the drug dealers were after him and killed him. But if you were being extorted, you already knew who was responsible, right? So that doesn't make sense. So if they enter that as evidence, they're not going to, if the state enters that, Donna's defense is toast. So it hasn't been really made clear, but they are deposing Sigfredo Garcia, who has not spoken since he's been arrested. He didn't speak at his trial. He immediately evoked his privilege to remain silent. So her attorneys are trekking up to his jail, to his prison, to depose him. So there's something there. And me and the Lovelies have been speculating, but we're not sure. Like maybe to show she never spoke to him, she didn't know him, like what information he had. It's really weird because there's meant to be a separation between them. But there have been recent findings of statements made by jailhouse snitches, I guess, for lack of a better word, who were housed with Sigfredo, who were coming forward saying, yeah, he would get drunk off of toilet wine. He said he knew about Donna. They called her Don Adelson, like Don Gotti or Grandma Gotti. And that Katie told him that the money came from Donna. And also he wanted to tell Katie, take a deal. Turn in the Adelsons, take a deal so you can walk. But I guess he couldn't get to her. She didn't want to follow it. I'm not sure, but we'll see. And she's also, so the state is calling Katie and they're calling Charlie. So Charlie is going to have to testify against his mother. And I imagine he's going to have to
Can he not say, take the fifth?
He could. We'll see if he does.
Wait a minute. Charlie's already been convicted and everything, right? So nothing he says can and will be used against him is done. Unless he's in appeals.
He is
still in appeals? Okay.
He is still in appeals.
And he can plead the fifth.
Yeah.
But can that not cause a mistrial? Because sometimes pleading the fifth can cause a mistrial.
That I don't know. I wonder
somebody else couldn't plead the fifth because if they did, it would cause a mistrial. Remember?
So maybe there are things he can answer that are not incriminating. I mean, I've seen it both ways where like the witnesses have refused to answer anything. Like when Wendi did her, before she had immunity, when she did her deposition, she just pled the fifth all the way through. I mean, we've seen the ones with Trump where he didn't want to answer anything. He just pled all the way through. I'm not sure because they're not offering Charlie anything. So what's his incentive, do you know, to testify against his mother?
Yeah.
I wonder if the two of them, Charlie and Charlie and Donna will turn on Wendi, because Charlie in those last phone calls after he was convicted seemed pretty angry with Wendi. He was like, oh, she couldn't help herself. Like he was mimicking what Georgia had said, but he was also feeling like, I can't believe she really went by the crime scene. I thought that was something people were just saying. So he was expressing that to his mother, that frustration about Wendi, because she's gotten away scot-free, right, to date.
That is true. Future. He did testify at trial. They can ask him questions that he asked or answered at trial, but because now he's under an appeal, he may not want to reiterate a few things, you know?
Right. But can they ask him, like hand him a transcript of the prior trial and just say, can you read this? Do you know?
Yeah, they can do that. Yeah.
I don't think he'll turn on Wendi. Wendi is the golden child. I think you're right. She's the princess. But what did you think about Donna's performance at that motion hearing where she's talking about how she's been attacked? Bending your arm behind your back is not what I would label a jailhouse attack.
No, I think she won't.
That's just bullying. There's a big difference, y'all.
Right. And she's got money. So I hear they always bully the inmates with money. Buy me this, buy me that, play nice, I think her performance, she won't be getting any Oscars anytime soon. To me, she came across whiny, entitled, and just not understanding like jail's not meant to be comfortable. She's like, she wasn't willing to try anything that they offered her medically. Like, she didn't want to take the Tylenol because she knew it wouldn't work. If I were in pain and the only option I had were Tylenol, I'm taking the Tylenol. Like, maybe she's used to Harvey giving her like Xanax bars and she wants to be zonked out, but they're not giving you that in jail, ma'am. That's not going to happen. Well, and then her earwax.
Yeah, I've had bad sciatica. I've had a lot of injuries. I have rheumatoid arthritis. I'm in the wheelchair sometimes. Bone pain hurts, but Tylenol, 3 hours later, ibuprofen. Tylenol, ibuprofen. That's called the poor man's hydrocodone. And it can work well if you do it consistently. Gets rid of the inflammation, takes care of the pain, but she gained a third of her weight and they're eating crappy food. Dude, do you know how many people lose weight? My ex-husband lost almost 180 pounds. He came out at 150 pounds when he went in well over 300. And it's like, it's your choice, boo.
Right. Yeah, remember that Apple River guy? I don't know if you follow that case. He lost a lot of weight. Well, a lot of people do lose weight in there. But her whining to the judge about carbs. First of all, do you see him? He's not missing any carbs. But second of all, what do you want him to do? That's not a reason to get out. Everybody else in there is getting the same thing, ma'am.
She could pull a Sarah Boone.
In what way?
Well, Sarah Boone said that she had certain what was it? Soy. She couldn't eat soy, so she got a special dietary lunch. But then when she saw something that she liked, oh, I'm fine, I can eat it today. And then 2 days later, oh, I got to have my soy diet, But there are kosher diets if you are Jewish.
She's asked for a kosher diet. Now she wants to be Jewish when it's convenient.
Yeah, there we go.
Oh my goodness. It's funny too because she and Charlie would make jokes about eating lobster and sushi, right? Because if you keep kosher, you can't have lobster. And so he was like, yeah, I'm going to no lobster for you now, buddy. No lobster.
It said no soup for you. It's no lobster for you. Michigan has all inmates on an 1,800 calorie diet unless medically says otherwise. Okay, you can lose weight on that.
Yeah, because isn't the minimum like 2,000 calories a day average? 1,800. Yeah, they're going to lose weight.
Well, but they're also the fact that 99% of them have commissary and get off.
Right. All their zuzus and wham-whams.
So what else?
Uh-oh. That's a cute face to freeze on. Uh-oh. I'm going to keep going. Yeah, I just thought it was in poor taste for her to be telling that to the judge. Like, he's the manager of the jail. Sugar Bear agrees. And she has to get tuna and whatever else. Like, why would you waste the judge's time with that? And I also think they need to do a better job of coaching her lawyers, because she was going off the deep end on some stuff, like the mattress, no mattress. Like, did you ask someone in the jail, the captain, what is his name? Captain Mac? Did you ask him for another mattress? Can you fold your mattress, girl? If you don't get like a something, a blanket, and put that under the crook of your back and keep it moving. I know that face was great, right, Kathy? Hello, gossip, rumor, and innuendo, and Future and Lisa. Wendy's shock face when she heard Dan was shot. Oh my God. I rewatched, we're going to do it on my channel, her interrogation / interview. Really, it wasn't an interrogation. She was so fake. And she didn't bother to check on the children. Like,
Okay, guys, I don't know what's going on. Oh, there we are. We're back.
You had a cute frozen face.
I'm sorry.
No, it's okay.
I never have these problems. I have the fastest internet one combined.
It's live. Things happen. You're good.
I am so sorry, but I'm so glad that you're able to keep it going from your end. Thank you so godly. Thank you so much. So I was saying, next.
No, I was going on about Donna and her inappropriateness in court with the judge. I don't think she should take the stand based on how she performed in that hearing. That was horrible. And she's very much like, woe is me. And even when Sarah Dugan, the prosecutor, said, did you do this so you don't have to take responsibility? And she was like, responsibility? I didn't do this. And then Sarah was like, so you wouldn't be arrested. Like, stop playing, ma'am. You know what she's saying. And yes, that is why you booked that ticket the day after your son was convicted. Like, it's too many things, you know? And it's, she comes across as entitled and as if we are beneath her. And by being beneath her, just our intellect is not on par with her. Our understanding of the world is not on par with her. Like, we see it's a dog or a duck. If it looks like a duck and walks like a duck, it's a duck. But you're telling us, oh no, that's an Easter bunny.
Ma'am. What is her educational background? What has she done with her life before being stupid?
Donna, well, she was on, what was it, you guys? Wheel of Fortune? Mischief Maker was the word that she got. All the crazy ones are on our Crazy Killers are on some kind of game show.
Sarah Boone, Donna, Lori
Vallow, Wendi was on a game show. Yeah,
I was like, teacher. Oh my God, Lisa! If
someone said she was a part-time teacher,
they would be out of her class.
Or a substitute teacher. Was she a full-time? Because she mentions that in a letter to the judge that she was. I wouldn't let her teach my kid. Yes, Wheel of Fortune. Thank you, Creative Minds. Yeah. Mischief Maker was what it was, that word that she solved on there that she won. So she's a homemaker. Domestic. He's having a good time over here. Domestic coordinator. That's what she was. A domestic coordinator. I don't know what her education is, but I know her daughter went to college on a scholarship. And then I can't remember where she got her master's. And then she did a clerkship in DC. So she devoted all her time into her children, not even a little, just obsessively, very much in all of their business. The oldest son was in love with an Asian woman, an Indian woman. Donna was not happy. So he dumped the love of his life, married a Jewish woman, and then realized, like, I can't live my life for my mom. So they got an annulment and he went and married the love of his life. Then Donna and Harvey went to the wedding. They were dressed in like Indian garb and smiling, but those children aren't considered Jewish, right? So then she committed her time to Wendi. They went on J-Date, the two of them, and selected Dan together. Yes, ma'am. Now Harvey is a whore. He's out humping anything that moves. Do
you have any wine? Because now I'm really wishing I had some strong wine. We need wine for this.
Oh, yes. And Fortune says the Wendi and the wedding ring she never returned. So Danny gave her either his grandmother, his maternal or paternal grandmother's Holocaust ring. She was a Holocaust survivor. And Wendi absconded with that. To this day, no one knows where that ring is.
Okay. FYI, if you were given a wedding ring that is not bought for you, but is actually, what is it called? Generational within a family.
Right.
Heirloom. You give the heirloom back.
Not Wendi.
You give it back. Because if you go into court of law, they're going to say, sorry, baby, it goes back. If it was bought for you with the cash of the future husband, that's another ball game. And a Holocaust. Oh, I want to go ballistic on that. That just.
Oh, So that's the other thing. There was a case pending in family court. There was a hearing pending, right? He was going to contest the ring. He was going to contest the amount of money that she took. He felt like she was hiding money. And he threatened her bar license with it because they were both lawyers, right? So her attorney, her divorce attorney, had to step down because it was then a conflict because she was also implicated. He was murdered the week before the hearing. Also, he was filing against Donna for parental alienation because she was saying derogatory things about him in front of the children. And so he asked that she only has supervised visits. That one sent Donna to the moon. Just ugly, nasty people. They didn't want to cooperate. And Wendi has denied Dan's parents from seeing the grandchildren since he died. They see them via Zoom, but they haven't been able, and only while Wendi and or Donna were there. They've never had just an unattended, unfettered meeting with the boys.
What state are they in? Because in a lot of states that don't have grandparents' rights, there is a law that if the spouse is the father of the child's deceased, the father's parents can sue for visitation so long as they were in the lives of the children before his death. It is in most states, some states, I don't know, I'm not a lawyer in all the states, I can't say who, but a lot of states do not have grandparent rights. But under that situation, they can sue for visitation.
So they created the grandparents law. The Markels did. They fought for it in Florida. Wendi has since left Florida and gone to Texas with the boys.
Texas doesn't have grandparents' rights here.
Right. She ran off to Austin with the children.
She did what?
Mm-hmm.
Don't come to my state. We don't want you.
She's there, girl. It's too late.
I see you. I get you. No, I'm kidding. Ahmed. I love Ahmed. A little Ahmed. Oh my gosh. Stay out of Texas.
She's there.
Don't mess with Texas, the woman. Uh-oh, face gone.
Uh-oh. He's all right. Oh my God. He's rolling around with the suitcase. I don't know where he thinks he's going.
Suitcase? Okay,
Yeah.
as long as he doesn't zip himself up in it, girl, you better watch him. Like
Oh, no. Sometimes I put him on top and spin it around. I think that's what he's looking for.
So,
Yeah, Wendy's a piece of work, though. Like, she actively kept the boys from the grandparents. And the grandparents are divorced. They were divorced before the murder, but they have a place. They're all from Canada. Danny was from Canada. They have a place in Canada. They have a place in Florida. I think the grandfathers also has a place in California. But they've come to all the trials. Like, they've been very active. Ruth Markel, Danny's mother, wrote a book about the experience of going through like the American judicial system after her son was murdered. It's something unveiled, I think is what it's called. Very fascinating. She gives details about Wendi and Donna and how nasty and calculating they are. She doesn't hold back.
well, so they looked into possibly temporary placement of the children in the case. Wendi got arrested until they could get to them. Wendi says they were trying to have the kids adopted. Boo, you don't need to have them adopted. You can give them to anybody and put them under emergency guardianship, which gives them the right to do what they need to do for the children without handing over your parental rights.
Right. So Wendi used that as an excuse as why she didn't want them alone with the children, because what the grandmother was concerned about is like she was in Canada and she was like, in the event Wendi gets arrested, I need time to get down here, right? And so she was looking for a Jewish foster home for them to be in while she got to Florida. And Wendi lost her mind, and was after that kind of sealed the deal. They had originally had a meeting planned, and Wendi canceled it before the next trial of Katie McBannon, while she let them have one visit. I believe it was via Zoom. Basically, just so she could say on the stand, yeah, they saw them.
Well, that is not unreasonable. If you have somebody, one parent left, and they may be getting arrested, that is not unreasonable for you to look at all options until you get there. you can make pre-arrangements with CPS and say, in the event that y'all actually do arrest her, if she's being investigated, she's under investigation. Here's my number. Call me. Put them in a foster home. I'll be there within a day or two.
Right.
Put them in whatever you got to do. Keep them safe, and I'll be right there. She does have a claim to those kids because they are her blood. But wow.
Just gross.
And I thought Sarah Boone was bad.
Oh my God. This woman, this is Sarah Boone with money and education. That's what Donna is.
A good way to put it. So what else?
What else? Well, I'm not sure. I think Wendy's testimony is going to be interesting this time. The 3 times that she's testified, she's given different versions of whether or not she went to the crime scene. None of them are the same, and it's different from what her interview was. So I feel like Georgia doesn't. What's that?
Did they impeach her?
They did impeach her testimony with Jeff Lacoste about some things she said. But other than that, no, because she's got derivative immunity. And if Georgia drills down on it too much, then it becomes protected. So they just call it out so that the jury can see, obviously, she's lying, and then they just keep it moving.
Can she take them to Canada out of Texas? Out of the U.S.? Technically, no. Not without consent from the U.S. If, say, Wendi is arrested, put in jail without bond, the kids need a place to go, grandma gets them, she can make arrangements with CPS in the United States to connect with their child equal to their child protective services and handle the case remotely. But what they most likely would do is try to set up a way for her to stay in the U.S. with the children.
Okay, and then she does have another property in Florida, like they're snowbirds, so she could, once she gets to the U.S., she could just keep them in Florida, or now take them back to Florida.
No, can you make arrangements? I know somebody who did. There was a bad divorce. Somebody died in a car wreck. There was a divorce. The person was brought up on charges. The grandparent lived in Mexico, and so they made arrangements for the children to go to Mexico, but they had to have their equal to our CPS make a contact with the U.S. They had to have, it's a lot of work.
Okay. Yeah, I just don't, like, they were 2 and 3 when their dad died, and now they're 13 and 14. That's a long time to not see their other grandparents, and it's heartbreaking. I don't know if you've heard some of the wiretaps, but Donna is playing with them. Well, Pretty Lies and Alibis has some nice clear cuts of some of that audio. Donna's playing with them, like pushing them on the swing, laughing as she's conspiring with Charlie about, are the feds onto them, or is Katie blackmailing them? Piano lessons, all of that. If, for Ruth Markel, I'm sure that's heartbreaking because she missed out on all those years. You can't get them back. Just cruel. And also that looks like guilt to me. If you had nothing to do with it, you changed you changed both of their last names, and you changed the middle name. She changed it from Markel to Adelson. She moved, so he died in July. She moved down to Miami with her parents. She enrolled them in school in September under Adelson. She did not tell Ruth Markel until later because Ruth Markel was coming to her house, and you know how kids do artwork and stuff, and it had Adelson on it. So she just said, I want to tell you, before you get here, I've changed their name. Well, like they wanted to wipe Danny off the face of the earth.
So when you have somebody like Sarah Boone's child, or the children here in this case, changing their last names to a name not connected to any family, any surnames within your lineage, a random last name, so they would have some sense of privacy. I know a lot of people have done that, but to change it from Marcel to Adelson, which is worse, you're taking him out of the skillet and just dumping him into the fire.
The prosecutor made that point because they do ask her on the stand, and she was like, well, I wasn't sure if someone was after them because of their last name, and the Markel name was, didn't age well. That did not age well. considering one Adelson is convicted and another is pending murder trial charges. Charlene, I believe Brian did change their last name. That's what I've heard in the rumor mill. Obviously, we don't know what it is because that would defeat the purpose of changing it.
I know, right? Well, we changed our last names. I immediately
right. Yeah.
Names. Yeah. For those of you who don't know, I lost my husband to prison, and it was a super, super public case in Texas. It did get mentioned on Nancy Grace, and it was like totally different name. My parents were upset because I didn't take my maiden name, and I'm like, I'm not doing that to anybody. We are taking a random name that's not connected to his family or my family, and it was the best decision I did.
How old were your children when you did that? Or how young?
They were 2 and 7 when he was arrested. They were 5 and 9 when he was convicted, and we changed the names. I changed them. And the bad thing is the newspaper decided to print that I had them changed and what name it was changed to. Let me tell you, this mama got a hold of them, and it was all but keeping me out of jail.
I don't blame you. Yeah, that's, oh my God, how dumb.
Well, they got it from an individual, not from the courts, because it was sealed.
Okay.
And it doesn't matter where you got it. You shouldn't.
Yeah, they shouldn't have publicized that. That defeats the purpose. It's funny you say Nancy Grace, though.
A lead shooter?
Oh.
What?
I don't know what that means.
Okay.
Because the person who pulled the gun was one of the first. He was the first one convicted in the Adelson case, so I'm not sure.
Oh, I understand. I understand what they're saying now. Got it.
Oh, moving them to Miami where the shooter was. Yes. If they knew, because Charlie said, I got you. I'm with you now, creative minds. I'm a little slow. It's that extra hour of sleep I got.
Well, and here's the other thing. The more you say the LKs, and I don't want to say the name too much on lives, because believe it or not, they all over. And they are very protective of their name and their group.
That's why Charlie had to move to South Dakota, because he kept saying their name on the stand and then they're after him. So he was threatened in a Florida prison. So he's still in the care, custody, of control of the Florida Department of Corrections, but he's housed in South Dakota.
Well, and that's the thing. It's interesting getting a degree in criminal justice. I'm going to go ahead and get my master's. I'm toying with law. I don't know at 54. I turned 54 this month, and I don't know if I want to go to law school at my age. It is a free ride.
Oh, nice. Happy birthday, by the way.
Tuition's free. Oh, okay. I don't pay the tuition, but I have learned a lot about gangs. I knew a lot about gangs living in San Antonio. I lived in the barrios, and that's the very deep, deep South gang-ridden part of San Antonio. I've lived all over San Antonio, but it's different learning it from the perspective that I am. And I have to tell you, I knew you don't mess with gangs, but when you're in prison, it's easier for a gang to get you in prison than it is to get you on the street. Especially if you're in Florida and the group you're messing with is in Georgia, for example. When you're in prison, it is not hard to get you.
Wow.
Oh, thank you. Thank you, Siba. That's so kind of you. I don't know if I want to put the work.
You can do it and still not practice law. Florida PI Sam went to law school, and she uses it for her private investigator work, but she doesn't practice. So you can still use it.
I wonder if I can become a private investigator with a degree in criminal justice.
Oh, probably. That would be cool.
Yeah, I already have a lead shooter on my hip. I got that already.
Come packing. I'm here for it.
Oh, I have one we had somebody walk in the shop at 9:00 at night. Just walked right in. We thought
your gun?
Obviously it didn't catch. And they walked all the way back here, and it's pitch black in the rest of the shop except for my office and his office. He was playing games. And I was all like, my door was shut, so I didn't know what was going on. Hence why I have a camera on when I'm live now in the shop. So I have a lead shooter in here, man.
Don't mess with Texas.
Don't mess with me, man. And I tell you, if you ever see a lead shooter come out, everybody duck. No, I'm kidding. I wouldn't do that. I would
Oh
hit
my
the
God.
button before. No. It is a good degree for PIs. Cool. I might even become a PI. Thank you, Afton Forward. I don't have my glass. My glasses broke. The
Oh no.
whole nose piece came off. So I can't wear them. So seeing is difficult. Oh,
Yeah, there's a YouTuber, Florida PI Sam. She's covering, I think she's going over jury stuff now. She's like super knowledgeable. She actually was on the Sarah Boone case early on, not by the time she went to trial. Florida PI Sam.
FAN?
No,
I'm not hearing
Sam.
the last word.
Oh, Sam, SAM. I'm going to put it in the chat. Florida.
Oh, there it is. Florida PI spam. I might want to reach out to her and talk to her. Oh, there she is. I'll screenshot it. I have loved learning how to screenshot. I don't have to worry about I'm the screenshot queen. Oh, let me share, if you don't mind, let me share everybody what I did today. I rearranged my entire podcast. What camera is that on now? 4. Of course, I got to get something to put this up on, but I got the 4 screens here, computer here, got everything up and running, got it more workable. So those who don't know me, this is my house. So that was awesome.
I love it.
Oh, I'm listening while you're doing yoga. I'm 53, and if I could start yoga at 51, and now I'm planning a trip to India to study. Oh, how wonderful. Oh, I appreciate it. I do. I do. It's just, I don't know if I want to work that hard.
Just get the degree and then figure it out, especially if you're not going to have a student loan debt. I mean, why not?
Well, I went back to school last fall. Are we in the fall or we're in the spring? Fall semester, last semester was my first semester back at school since 2017. I started school in 2013, graduated degree with deaf support specialist with a focus on interpreting for the deaf. That took 4 years for an associate. It's a very hard degree to get. And then I decided in July to go back to school. That started in August last semester. And I have done 3 years of work between fall, spring, and fall. I will be graduating this December while doing that.
Congratulations.
Thank you. My daughter and I are going to graduate together. Nah, she doesn't think so. But one good thing is they have BAs and BSs. They have different groups, different days. So I won't graduate the exact same time with her. So that'll be good. Tanika, I turned you on YouTube to watch a replay of the Sarah Boone message, and you guys were on. I'll be up all night. Can't wait to hear the SB video. I'm an S addict. Ada, you're inspiring. Oh, thank you so much, Natalie. Everybody, please make sure you like and love both of our lives. If you like both of them, go on and put the like button on both of them. And then in the comments, my comments, not hers, has to be mine. ILIKED. You'll be entered for a chance to be in the $50 giveaway at the end of the month. Everybody loves my giveaway. I love it.
That's cool. I think they were entered in last time we collabed. You did that on when we collabed on your channel.
Yeah. Now mine is a $50 gift card. I say Starbucks, but it could be anything you like. And I do it online, so you can get it through an email. Oh, thank you. So what do you think is going to be happening in the future? When is she due to go to trial?
June 3rd.
Okay, let's hope Karen Reed is over by then.
When is she due?
She's supposed to start April Fools, but I'm telling everybody, April Fools, we're going to have a delay. Auntie Bev is even, it's really bad when you have attorneys sitting there saying the judge is now 100% biased. Thank you, Deb. And let me see, it got you. So it is really, really getting difficult to figure out where Auntie Bev is going to be. But what do you think about the Adelson? How long did the last one go?
I want to say 2 weeks after they were done with jury selection. Jury selection was a big deal. I was actually looking at day 2 of it last night. They paid for a Josh Dubin. They paid him $1 million. Okay, hold on. To help select the jury.
What? Say that. Back that up. Say that again.
They paid Josh Dubin. Charlie and the Adelson clan paid Josh Dubin, a quote-unquote jury expert, $1 million to help select the jury, which I feel was like a bad move because then he built the relationship with the jury, and after the jury was selected, he never came back. And so Rashbaum was kind of the odd man out. He already had like a Napoleon complex. But like Georgia, the state attorney was very skilled at building rapport with the jury during the jury selection process.
I'm
the $1 million. Yeah.
Well, you know that Brennan was hired for $75,000 and now he's upped it to $225,000, and they're going to pay it because if they don't, he walks.
Where's the money coming from? Because she's not wealthy, right?
No, this is the special district attorney. The special district attorney for this trial was hired for $75,000 to try the case. He then put in a request for it to go up to $225,000. And
wow.
If they don't pay it, then he walks. So you know that county has forked out millions on this case.
Yikes. I hope they drop it. I know it might be anticlimactic, but it just seems like it's cooked. You know what I mean? It just doesn't smell right. It doesn't pass the smell test.
No, but the problem is I watched all the interviews from the one juror that's speaking, and it is very clear that one of the biggest problems is the individual paper. And it was my understanding that Yannetti argued, Your Honor, this is confusing. We need a page per charge. Charge 1, guilty, not guilty. Charge 2, guilty. Charge 3. And all they did was they put all 3 charges on the page, and it stated in the instructions, until you reach an unanimous decision on the charges, do not complete this form, or complete it once you reach unanimous decision for charges. He said his biggest regret was they did not know, because they're not professional. They weren't given really any instructions. And had they known, would have done not, because they said the very first vote within 1 and 2 were not guilty, unanimous. I mean, 1 and 3. 1 and 3 were unanimously not guilty, and 2 on a lesser was where they argued for all those days and could not come to a meet. And he said he wishes, had they known how to do it properly, or it was clear, and they did send questions and got no response, or there's no response that can be given. So that's not exactly accurate. Well, that's what he said in the interview. Whether they gave it to him. Now, remember, halfway through, they did give him some papers. I'm just telling you what he said in the interview. I'm not disagreeing with you one bit.
Why didn't she poll the jury? Why do you think that didn't? Did they have to request it? It just seems like she would have solicited like more information from them when they came back before she declared a mistrial.
Because she knew that what she was doing was wrong and she wanted to get out quick. Throughout the judge, see, I made the comment to a friend of mine who is a retired judge, and I said, I think it should be a law that if a judge tries a case and it goes to a mistrial, it's a new judge. And some people can say, well, that can look like the judge did something wrong. There can be a lot of good on it, bad on each side of that. But if it is a law, then that might, but I said in a lot of cases, mistrials and then retrials with the same judge is not a good idea. She goes, it is what it is.
The judge makes such a huge difference. Like, I love that Judge Everett sat over Charlie's trial and will sit over Donna's, because he does a great gray walk. He does a gray rock. He doesn't get into all of the emotions and whatever. And he's told her several times, Miss Adelson, stop talking. Like, he's very by the book, and it makes all the difference. And Judge Kranick was that way with Sarah Boone. Like, you have to know how to handle the crazies.
Well, Afton, I am not disagreeing with you. I'm just reporting what the guy said.
I agree with Lindsay. She should have recused herself long ago. I'm wondering why she hasn't.
Yeah, I agree. Well, number one, here's the thing. She has rotated out of that court and in criminal into and gone into family court. But she's holding on to this case. See, they do so many years in criminal, so many years in family or something like that over there. But the defense didn't want to poll the jury either, not at that time. I think the biggest thing, I think the defense was just in shock. Here's the thing. They got the note. They called both sides in. Everybody came back into court. She read the note to everybody. They talked about it. They called the jury in and gave the answer. Note 2. Called everybody back in. She read the note in front of everybody. Both sides talked about it. Talked about it and then discussed it, called the jury in and gave the response. The third time, she looked at the note. She called the jury back in. She read the note. And as she ended the sentence on the note, she goes, well, I'm not going to do that to you. Done. I can't get in that woman's mind. Thank you, Michelle, so much. Thank you so much. I'm going to let the machine do its drawing right now. We're going to close the drawing because we're going to tidy this up. And the winner, I will screenshot it and then show you, Melissa Webb. You have won. Let me do the screen share. We're going to go here. It won't add. Can you see it, Tanika, on your end?
Something's coming up. It's like doing the thingy.
We go.
It's
just
coming.
So you know, Melissa Webb, who got the entry into the $50 giveaway at the end of the month. Thank you so very much for doing that. We greatly appreciate you. Yay. Uh-oh. Let me get her back. I don't know where she went. It has been a little crazy today. I don't like how muddy the waters are in the Karen Reed case. I don't like the muddy level of mud in the Donna Adelson case too. I mean, it's like walking through a swamp.
I just don't feel like there's judicial mud in that case though, right? We got rid of the bad attorney. Judge is solid. I feel like in the Karen Reed case, like prosecution is suspect, judge is suspect. I just saw, who was that? Jane had a no, I can't. FKR say the judge is biased against her. Justice for John O'Keefe fans think the judge is biased against them. I think they need to get rid of the judge. Like, that is clearly people are not comfortable with how they're moving, you know?
Well, I think one thing in the Karen Reed, to talk about Afton's comment here, he did say the problem is we didn't know what happened. There was he goes, first of all, he's a paramedic. He said he did not believe that car she didn't hit him. He said he was a paramedic. He didn't believe it. But he said that there was reasonable doubt. The other part of their argument and convictions was people weren't quite clear on what reasonable doubt was.
Wow.
So we are going to have, so when we do this trial with Miss Adelson, I'm going to have you in the background.
Oh, yay. She's got a hearing on the 26th of March in the afternoon, 2:30. So we'll see what happens there. That's the next time we'll see Miss Adelson.
Well, I'm making sure you said March what?
26th at 2:30.
26?
326. Yes, yes.
My birthday.
Oh, really? Oh.
2:30. I'm getting it because we ain't going to forget this. So what do you think the verdict is going to be? Give me
Guilty.
Give us a wrap up.
Guilty. I think they're going to find, I think there's ample evidence to find Miss Donna Adelson guilty on all charges. I think she's going to get what Charlie got, life plus 60. Judge Everett has been very clear. If there is a plea or you want to plead guilty, do it now, because once the verdict comes in, my hands are tied. So he's telling her, you're going to get life plus 60 if this verdict comes in. If I were her, I would plead guilty. I mean, first of all, I wouldn't be murdering anybody. You guys know how I feel about not doing crimes. But why she should just plead guilty. I think she's putting on a front for like the grandchildren and everyone else. But Donna, the writing is on the wall, especially with your murky defense. You did it, girl. You wrote checks to somebody who didn't work for you. And you wrote checks so you could get like a tax break on it, of all things. You've got piles of cash at home. Why didn't you just give the woman cash? You're giving like regular monthly payments to a hit woman.
What
Grandma Gotti with her tiny ear canals.
Well, by the way, that is an actual reality. That is a very true thing. I had to go, being deaf, and I could talk because I grew up hearing. I went deaf as an adult. Thank you for supporting Tanika. Thank you so much for supporting her. That is an actual thing, and that can happen. However, when you have tiny ear canals and you gain weight, when you gain weight, you gain it everywhere, including in your ear canals.
Really?
When I was wheelchair bound and 300 pounds and I lost weight, my hearing aids were loose. Yes.
Oh, wow.
Yes. That's a fact that people don't know. So I don't doubt she's having problems, but that whole place, being in jail, breeds problems. So the whole moral to that story is don't commit a crime and go to jail, because when you go to jail, but do you know what? Real quick on the medical care. Do you know that she gets she gets faster medical care in general than we do? Because if I call my doctor and said, hey, my foot's really bothering me, which it is, I think it may be plantar fasciitis. She goes, well, I can get you in 2 weeks.
Right.
Come on now. Unless you have a concierge doctor, which there are out there, like
right.
the stars have. Yeah, you're going to wait to get seen. Just saying.
So the lovely, ironic part of it, the son that she is estranged from is an ear, nose, and throat doctor. And he might be called as a witness. But yeah, he's up in New York. He's
a son?
He's here in my state, but upstate.
From? There's another child?
Rob, the one who married the Indian woman.
That one.
Yes.
Okay.
So they don't speak. He suspects his family was involved. He talked about it on a podcast, Over My Dead Body. And they had an in-camera about him that was meant to be sealed that accidentally got unsealed. And Brother Counsel found it, another YouTuber, and read it out to us. And apparently she said some sort of slur that he referenced. And then they were trying to get that suppressed. And the judge was like, I can't think of any circumstance in which a question would be asked to like solicit that information. So it's all, I think he's going to come to trial. When one of your family members testifies against you, it's not a good look. My brother testified against, my father testified against my brother. It didn't end well. So it's her goose is cooked, girl. Just plead guilty and call it a day. Don't spend any more money.
Boone, you should have taken the deal.
Oh my God. Yeah.
Boone would be out in no time. I mean, that was.
But she wasn't sorry, so I'm glad she didn't take it. She still hasn't apologized. She's not sorry. Hey, Jane. All right, it's 9:09. I know you've got to wrap up.
Yes, we got to wrap up. So I have a young man that is starting YouTubing. He is called Addict to Athlete, and he's a fabulous young man. So he's going to do his first live with a guest tonight. So I'm going to go help him.
Oh, cool.
But I want to say, Tanika, really enjoy having you. I feel so blessed that you come on my lives. You've asked me to come on your lives. I hope this went better than the first one.
I think it went great. I love talking to
I'm
you.
not talking over you because we have a delay. We didn't realize there was a delay until I put it up on the screen and I saw the delay happening. I'm like, so, but anyway, I bless you. I bless your son. I hope you have a fabulous evening. Please come back.
Yeah, absolutely.
I would love to be on your show. I love you being on my show. I would love to do some end of the week kind of team up Adelson during trial and talk about things. But you guys, all of her, well, first of all of her lovelies, as she calls you. See, I like lovelies. I like law nerds. Everything's taken. I call my people my little courtroom junkies.
That's a good one.
I don't know if they love it that much. But thank you to my court junkies. We really appreciate all of you for being on tonight. We will be live tomorrow morning for the Simatilli trial. Any of y'all watching the Simatilli trial, hop on over. We've had some interesting days the last couple of days. We are now going into day 26. We're not done with prosecution. This is the same prosecutor that did a day and 2 quarters opening statement.
Ooh.
So we are going into day 26 and we have not even hit the defense.
Wow.
So come join us. Make sure you like and share and do everything on Tanika's end and my end. And we greatly appreciate y'all. Thank you, Chris, so much. Thank you, everybody. Tanika, you are such a blessing.
My pleasure being here. Thank you for inviting me. Anytime. I'm happy to talk to you. It's always a good time.
Yes, it is. Especially if it may or may not be wine.
Nice.
Okay, guys. Tanika, I'm going to let you go. Then I'm going to say my goodbyes. But everybody, give a good shout out and love to Miss Tanika. Tanika, be blessed, my dear friend. Well, guys, thank you so much for joining us. Yet another great stream. Yes, Jane. And if any of y'all want to hop on over for the Simatilli trial, not stealing you, but if you're interested in that one, it's finally starting to move. We will be, of course, following the Karen Reed trial. Y'all are such an amazing group of people, and we love and appreciate all of you. And as always, I'll be on tomorrow morning. I have to look at what time. I think 11:30 Central Standard Time for the Simatilli trial. I may go on a little early because we have some new stuff in the Karen Reed trial that's popped up. It's old, but it's new to us. And I want to go through that. Thank you so much, everybody. You guys are awesome, amazing people, and we appreciate Tanika at 2 cents. Once again, thank you so much. Blessings. Have a great night. Thanks for watching. Please comment, like, share, and most importantly, subscribe. I hope you have an awesome day. Till next time, take care.